bubble or no, property values in China have been climbing rapidly and demand is booming, but can it last? Emily Chang sat down with one of the top commercial real estate brokers in that region. She joins us now live from San Francisco. Emily, good to see you.
Hey, Lisa. Well, it's no secret that Chinese investors want to put their money in real estate. But can the world's hottest real estate market keep it up? I talked to the CEO of Jones Lang LaSalle, the world's second largest commercial property broker.
China and India, obviously, both showing growth rates north of 10%. Huge booms in lease rates in those markets, rental rates in those markets, really across both India and China. I think the danger there for 2011 and 2012 as well is actually going to be the result of growth will be inflation.
How would you say regulators in China have handled the surge in investment interest in commercial as well as residential property?
It's based on a lot of equity from the middle class trying to find nice places to live. And that's been the center of the government's attention. And what they've done to try to deal with that, raise interest rates, limit the number of homes people are allowed to buy, limit the level of debt they're allowed to apply to their purchases. And those same regulations, or the impact of those regulations is, of course, having an effect in the commercial markets, where we're seeing a tightening in the availability of financing for Chinese domestic investors, and banks being a lot more careful about how they underwrite their investments.
Is there a property bubble in China?
If you talk residential, there's clearly been a bigger increase in prices in the residential market than in the commercial market. To the extent it's been fueled by straight supply and demand, I would say no. Prices have boomed, and the only way that really will be dealt with is by the government freeing up more land to enable development of residential property to happen. That is happening, but that's going to be a slow process.
How about in terms of vacancies, though, in Beijing, in Shanghai, in second and third tier cities in China? There are plenty of office buildings that are empty, shopping malls that haven't ever opened.
The rental prices were rising by 30% against a market with 30% vacancy. Very illogical. The issue is simply the sort of space that's available, the quality of space. The markets, or the space where prices were increasing rapidly, was high quality space, grade A space, investment grade space in Chinese terms, or good malls, well positioned, well managed. And the vacant space was the poorer space, the malls which weren't properly situated or weren't properly managed.
So in his opinion, no, there is not a bubble in China, but there certainly are trends that are concerning and, quite frankly, don't make sense. The reality is Chinese people are making more and more money, and they want to spend that money on their second or third property, which is what regulators in China are trying to crack down on. Lisa?
You know, Emily, let me ask you one quick question. Did you happen to talk about where building is being done? Is it still very centralized around Beijing and Shanghai?
It's happening in Beijing and Shanghai, but it's also happening in second and third tier cities. You know, I've actually been to cities in central and western China, and there is a lot of building, a lot of construction going on. But as I said, there are also a lot of vacancies. So even though these buildings are being built, they're not being filled.
All right, Emily, thanks so much. Interesting look into the real estate market in China. Emily Chang coming to us live from San Francisco.